Tonight, we look at UNHCR on its 60th anniversary. But this won't be the usual historical overview. Instead, we'll focus on the people of UNHCR, past and present, old and young, field and headquarters, and also on their families who are sometimes taken for granted. Through some of the biggest upheavals of our time, UNHCR men and women helped tens of millions of refugees rebuild their lives. They were there as history unfolded, and like history itself, their stories are heartbreaking and humorous, terrifying and triumphant, inspiring and irreverent. Tonight, we'll share some of those stories.
There were too many memorable incidents.
I got lost and I only thought, I am going to die here.
I told them, listen, Ian, if this story gets to be known in Geneva, they will stop immediately the handing out of money.
I think the conventional wisdom is that, well, you know, we here at headquarters, we do not do the real work.
Oh no, and he goes, you love UNHCR more than you love us.
But that was the point that I would say broke me. I drove to work in tears.
I think for our generation, I mean, we're young, we're hungry, we want to get out there, we want to make a difference in the world.
On January 1st, 1951, UNHCR was born.
UNHCR was created by the General Assembly on December 14, 1950 to help some 1 million refugees after World War II. Then came the 1956 Hungarian uprising. 200,000 people fled. It was a turning point. The first time UNHCR dealt with a mass movement rather than individual refugees.
I was very fortunate to be in the office at a time when the legal criteria for the protection of refugees were being widened. In particular, the 1951 Refugee Convention. At that time, the refugees with whom the office was concerned were essentially European.
Soon, however, UNHCR was called on to deal with refugees beyond Europe, starting in North Africa. Former staff member Brian Deschamps says it was a controversial move.
Well, the House was divided. The House is always divided on a range of issues. But this was particularly so with the opening up of the African continent. It was primarily, up until then, a European show, a European organization.
In the 60s, liberation wars spread across Africa, first in Algeria. Soon, UNHCR would be working across the continent.